Wendy, what's up? So, got some dinner, early dinner, I guess. Bacon cheeseburger and some pickles, mm, and some macaroni salad. Macaroni, some barbecue sauce for my burger. I gotta have a lot of barbecue sauce in every bite. Hmm. Man, that's good. Your boy had that grill lit up. Some chicken wings, burgers, steaks, and lamb chops. Mm-mm. Everything's so golden and brown and smoky. I just want to eat the whole fucking platter. I did make some cabbage too and bacon, but and I wrote a song. Is the main reason I'm in here right now. I am gonna paint a little bit, but the song is the main reason. Come on, Cameron. Just come back. Just there you go. God damn son of a bitch. Mhm. What's the title? Soulmate. Wrote a song called Soulmate.
Trap House Entertainment.
I don't know which version I'm gonna keep.
Trap House Entertainment.
Open your mind, let me dive. We're synchronized with perfect timing. Let me embrace the brightness that's blinding. Let me explore the trauma you're hiding. Yeah, we're both seeking balance. Emotions may change, but we're up for the challenge. I'm good on my own. I stood on my own with you. Potential is magnified when it's you and I. I'm good on my own. I stood on my own with you. Potential is magnified when it's you and I. We have a conversation, no words are spoken. Silent communication, body language, the focus. We intertwine, our essence combine. Soul searching, still looking for mine. Soul searching, finding my person, finding my purpose. Soul searching, the process is sacred, the struggle is worth it. I'm good on my own. I stood on my own. With you, greater potential is magnified when it's you and I. Hello. I'm good on my own. I stood on my own. With you, greater potential is magnified when it's you and I.
All right, now that version or this version. Now, that's a really good one. Actually, I can write some decent stuff sometimes. That ain't too bad.
Open your mind, let me dive in. We're synchronized erase the brightness that's blinding. Let me explore the trauma you're hiding in. At the end, we're both seeking balance. Emotions may change, but we're up for the challenge. I'm good on my own. I stood on my own. But with you, I'm greater. Potential is magnified when it's you and I. I'm good on my own. I stood on my own. But with you, I'm greater. Potential is magnified when it's you and I. We had a conversation, no words are spoken, silent communication, body language, the focus we intertwine, our essence combined, soul searching, still looking for mine, soul searching, finding my person, finding my purpose. Soul searching, the process is sacred, the struggle is worth it. I'm good on my own, I stood on my own, but with you I'm greater. Potential is magnified when it's you and I. I'm good on my own, I stood on my own, but with you I'm greater. Potential is magnified when it's you and I.
I don't know which one to keep, honestly. When I figure out which one of those will be the final cut, I might go ahead and release that album. And then I need to get back to updating some of those old rap songs because that's still like 2 more albums worth of material, 3 more albums worth of material there. Got to break up the rap with some other shit. So I'll drop this album and drop a couple rap albums. And then I'll drop the techno dance music. Then I'll drop some more rap shit. Now, those are some pretty good lyrics in that one. I'm good on my own. I stood on my own. But with you, I'm greater. Simple as that.
piano or
That was impressive. That was very impressive.
Still too lazy to learn AI? Watch others get ahead while you stay behind.
It's 2025. AI can build a pro-level website within a couple of minutes. Meanwhile,
Why are you
you're still
whispering?
asking
Why are you
it.
A
whispering
lot of
that
people have
shit?
been thinking that. A lot of people have been thinking that Peter Thiel is like an antichrist type figure. So
We're not living under the Antichrist right now. We're just stagnant, right? And you're positing that something worse could be on the horizon that would make stagnation permanent, that would be driven by fear. And I'm suggesting that for that to happen, there would have to be some burst of technological progress that was akin to Los Alamos that people are afraid of. And I guess this is my very specific question for you, right? Is that
Well, it's-
you're an investor in AI. You're deeply invested in Palantir, in military technology, in technologies of surveillance, in technologies of warfare, and so on, right? And it just seems to me that when you tell me a story about the Antichrist coming to power and using the fear of technological change to sort of impose order on the world, I feel like that Antichrist would maybe be using the tools that you were building, right? Like, wouldn't the Antichrist be like, great, we're not going to have any more technological progress, but I really like what Palantir has done so far, right?
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that a
So to kind of summarize what this guy is stating here, he's saying, look, if you're worried about the conditionals, which would bring about Antichrist, isn't it the case that the conditionals that you're setting with technology, the Antichrist would absolutely love these technologies? Like, in other words, aren't you actually paving the way for this very thing that you're telling me right now I should be afraid of through stagnation?
and Peter Thiel gives like a very sort of cheeky smile while he's doing that, and I think that he knows exactly what he's alluding to here.
concerned? Wouldn't that be the irony of history would be that the man publicly worrying about the Antichrist accidentally hastens his or her arrival?
There are all these different areas. I obviously don't think that that's what I'm doing.
I mean, to be clear, I don't think that's what you're doing either. I'm just interested in how you get to a world willing to submit to permanent authoritarian rule.
Well, but
Big Rob, what's good, bro?
again, there are these different gradations of this we can describe, but is this so preposterous, what I've just told you, as a broad account of the stagnation that the entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism? This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety, and we've submitted to, the FDA regulates not just drugs in the US, but de facto in the whole world, because the rest of the world defers to the FDA. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission effectively regulates nuclear power plants all over the world. People, you can't design a modular nuclear reactor and just build it in Argentina. They won't trust the Argentinian regulators. They're going to defer to the US. And so it's at least a question about why we've had 50 years of stagnation. And one answer is we ran out of ideas. The other answer is something happened
What is
culturally
Wait,
where
okay, he's actually losing me here. So first, I'm not under a supposition that, can you get rid of that transition, Mystery? It's very distracting. I'm not under the illusion here that there's been no or total stagnation for 50 years. That I mean, it's just fundamentally untrue. But the thing that gets me the most about this is I actually don't understand what he's talking about or where he's going with this. So I think his general idea here is humanity has submitted to some type of greater idea of keeping the globe safe by using regulatory bodies in order to do that. And so we have submitted to this in the same way that you would find referenced in Thessalonians, which would be paving the way for Antichrist. I think that that's it. General argument.
Well, I think he said submitted to the idea of peace and safety above everything. And that peace and safety then paves the way for some sort of an authoritarian antichrist to come about.
Yeah, but the Antichrist himself is supposed to be delivering us from wars, right? And bring about this peace. And it's to him that everybody will credit this great peace. And that hasn't happened. So I don't know what he's talking about here. It's just more biblical butchery combined with technocrat stupid prattle, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just dumb technocrat prattle. It's meaningless.
Well, that's essentially what happens for the rest of the podcast. But so what is your view actually on the Antichrist? Because I've seen a lot of people theorizing that it could be somebody like Trump, or it could be an Elon Musk, or it could be a Peter Thiel, people like this. Where do you sit on all of this?
Well, there's many criteria for what would happen with Antichrist for you to know. So let's dissect two issues: the spirit of Antichrist and what would be biblically the Antichrist. So spirit of Antichrist just means that you're a person who is anti-Christian, right, through and through, and your view set is to move against Christianity. That would be Antichrist, right? Mm-hmm. So if I say the spirit of Antichrist, that's what I'm referencing. Is that, and there's millions and millions of people who are Antichrist, right? The Antichrist, though, there's all sorts of things which have to come into place prophetically for an Antichrist to kind of take the reins. There's seals that have to be broken. There's a massive meteor called Wormwood that crashes down and kills a third of humanity because it poisons the water. There's all sorts of different things that have to come to pass, including a figure which brings global peace and things like this. So we're, as far as Revelation starting, we ain't there yet, that's for sure. But it, to, possibly to defend some people who may disagree with what I just said, eschatology is not my strong suit. Especially when I dive into things like Revelation, a lot of it just seems like gibberish to me. There's people who study eschatology 100, that's only what they study in Orthodoxy is eschatology, and I would defer to them for those more nuanced kind of discussions, because that in and of itself is its own discipline.
Let me cue this thing up first. I think you guys really like it. All right, Peter, you've been doing great so far. Just some layup questions ahead, and let's bring this home.
I think you would prefer the human race to endure, right?
No way.
You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes?
I don't know. I would.
Yeah, yes. The answer is yes.
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions in place.
Should the human race survive?
Yes. The answer is yes. Great.
Solve these problems. And so,
what is he talking about?
Yeah, transhumanism. Human natural body gets transformed into an immortal body. And there's a critique of, let's say, the trans people in a sexual context, or a transvestite is someone who changes their clothes and cross-dresses. We want more than cross-dressing or changing your sex organs. We want you to be
Dude, I can't imagine being his. You've been doing great so far.
Trying to deal with that, dude. Like, what? No, yes.
Find a perfect mattress for your best sleep during the Labor Day mattress sale at Raymore Flanagan. Explore top brands and save hundreds. Exclusive in-store savings combine select mattress sale pricing with interest-free financing. Don't miss Labor Day mattress deals at
This dude can just say yes when he was asked should the human race survive into the future. He was like, oh well, no, motherfucker, say yes. You're a human, right? You want your great 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 grandkids to be here? Then the human race got to survive, dickhead. This motherfucker couldn't answer that question. Then he started talking about transhumanism with robot bodies that live forever. Man, sit your goofy ass down. That's that millionaire technocrat talk, though. Man, I need a toothpick so bad.
Teal seems to be all the rage at the moment, Andrew. I don't know if you've seen this, you probably have, but a lot of people have been talking about Peter Thiel and transhumanism and how they think that Peter Thiel is basically using his influence to puppet master various different people like J.D. Vance into office. And some people even think that Peter Thiel might be an antichrist of sorts. So he sat down with a guy named Ross Douthat.
Because of Palantir?
Because of Palantir. Yeah, a little bit because of Palantir and
I can't take it. I really have to go get
I got these sorts of theories.
some target on my teeth or something.
We are like in almost total stagnation.
But the world of AI is clearly filled with people who, at the very least, seem to have a more utopian, transformative, whatever word you want to call it, view of the technology than you're expressing here, right? And you were mentioned earlier the idea that the modern world used to promise radical life extension and doesn't anymore. It seems very clear to me that a number of people deeply involved in artificial intelligence see it as a kind of mechanism for transhumanism, for transcendence of our mortal flesh, and either some kind of creation of a successor species or some kind of merger of mind and machine.
Okay, so let's start with a take. So as he's diving into this, he sets this up like this with AIDS Pete over there. He says, look, used to be that there was a promise, a great promise which was sold to everybody post-industrialization, basically, that the future is going to be full of 350-year-olds because, man, we're going to have products that reverse aging. Nobody's going to die. We're this close to that technology. And that seems to have been a massively failed promise. It's as much of a failed promise as the flying car, the Back to the Future hoverboard, right? All of these things, complete and total fiction that just never came to fruition. In some ways, we ended up with more advanced technology than Star Trek. They have a button communicator, right? They push the button and communicate. That was advanced technology when they were, talking about it when Star Trek came out as a show in the 50s. But now, of course, we have these handheld computer devices, which they weren't even envisioning at the time. But in other ways, like these ideas of biological confines and constraints, we haven't moved past any of them, really. In fact, if you, Jake, right now, if you adjust for infant mortality, people live right now about as long as they've always lived. So once you got past the age of, like, I don't remember what it was, 7 or 8, people lived about the same amount that they live right now. Technology hasn't particularly assisted with longevity.
So that's
as
why
much
life
as well.
expectancy goes up, because infant mortality goes up as well. Oh, infant mortality goes down.
Goes down, yes, that's correct.
Okay. But so were people living to 80, 90? Because I know that in other places of the world.
Oh yeah, they were living,
Africa,
they were living
in
to,
Asia, for example, that it's pretty common for people to die at 40, 50.
in Asian countries, it's not. In Asian countries, it's very common for them to live 70,
In
80,
East Asia,
90,
it's not.
100 years old, and it's because of the diets that they all have, right?
In East Asian countries.
Especially eating a lot of fish and things like this. But still, those are very humid conditions, which are brutal on people, but they were able to conform and adapt to them. Same thing if you look at ages reporting in ancient Greece and places like this. It wasn't uncommon for men to die in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. So no, we haven't really gotten in the way of longevity This promise has been failed. It's a failed promise essentially for futurists that there's going to be this great kind of health longevity. In fact, the opposite. Now people are fatter than ever.
Yeah.
They have way more. General problems like high blood pressure, allergies
disease,
to allergies to wheat, allergies to soy, allergies themselves, which are just all part of inflammation. These are things that the human body hasn't really experienced much in our history, and now all of a sudden it's rampant. So I would say we actually regressed quite a bit rather than progress towards this idea of the future being, these kind of like 250, 350-year-old people, which is what we were promised.
And do you think that's just all kind of irrelevant fantasy? Or do you think it's just hype? Do you think people are trying to raise money by pretending that we're going to build a machine god, right? Is it hype? Is it delusion? Is it something you worry about? I think you would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes.
I don't know. I would.
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit
Should
in
the
this.
human race survive?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also would I also would like us to radically solve these problems.
Right.
And so it's always, I don't know.
Pause it there. So Teal gets upset here for a second, right? He doesn't show it, but his mind is kind of whirling. So the question which is asked to him, technology itself, is it going to solve this issue of aging? Are we going to have what we consider the machine god? Are we going to have to make people into cybernetic organisms in order to attack these problems? And Teal's answer here, of course, he doesn't want to bluntly say yes, but of course the answer is yes. They all believe that machine technology merging with humanity is the way forward. And by the way, these elites have always believed this shit.
Transhumanism is this, the ideal was this radical transformation where your human natural body gets transformed into an immortal body. And there's a critique of, let's say, the trans people in a sexual context, or transvestite is someone who changes their clothes and cross dresses. And a transsexual is someone where you change your penis into a vagina. And we can then debate how well those surgeries work. But we want more transformation than that. The critique is not that it's weird and unnatural. It's so pathetically little. And we want more than cross-dressing or changing your sex organs. We want you to be able to change your heart and change your mind.
Interestingly enough, right? People will often say that transgenderism has nothing to do at all with transhumanism or futurism. But here, what is Peter Thiel saying?
He's saying it's not enough. It's only the first.
Well, he's saying that actually this is tied in with transhumanism. The idea that you can move yourself out of the confines of how you were born, and you're confined by your biology. We can change that, but unfortunately, it's pathetically small. Like the amount of progress we've made in these arenas is pathetically small. And the biggest problem with these guys when they're playing God is that they forget that biology is extraordinarily complex, very difficult, and still in medicine, most of it's guesswork. We pretend it's not, but most of it is. You don't know if you're going to do a surgery, the person's going to die. You have no idea. You just say, okay, well, we've done this 700 times this way and it's worked, but you, Mr. 701, you have a bad reaction to a scalpel, you're dead right there on the table. Biology is far too complex for them to be grafting these ideas of making you into something other than human. It's not just that we're not advanced enough. You just don't really understand the complexities involved with biology itself. It's extraordinarily complex.
Yeah, and it's just like people have such a profound fear of death, and the further we get away from God, and the further we get away from having religious societies, the more people are going to go towards these sort of AI transhumanist ideas, because I mean, especially if you're an atheist, you really don't want to die, because that's it. You're worm food, and there's nothing else beyond that. And the physical body
Which is really
is
stupid.
actually everything, right?
Well, I mean, that's really stupid, though. It's like the absence of experience, though, shouldn't be a prospect which atheists hate. The whole idea there is like they're not going to ever know it, and nothing they ever did mattered anyway. And even if, by the way, there's a mathematical calculation out there. If you were immortal, you would die anyway. Did you know that? If it was the case that you were able to make a person, right, functionally immortal, meaning that they would never die of aging or disease, they would still die. Eventually, just via the odds, they're going to do something over the span of thousands of years, which is going to kill them. Crossing the wrong street, something like this. They're still going to die anyway. Right. You can't beat death. You can't beat the Reaper, man. He comes for everybody. And people have been trying forever. The Fountain of Youth, the idea of a Philosopher's Stone, the idea of all of these different things for immortality. If I remember correctly, it was the Spanish who they were trying to follow Indian legends to a great Fountain of Youth as well. It's always bullshit. And the reason that they can't promise this, and the reason they've made so little progress to this, is because you can't really fundamentally change that process. The human experience is this day we're born, we begin decaying. And that's it. It's part of the life cycle.
Now he talks about the Christian side, like the Orthodox Christian view on it, which is interesting.
Organs, we want you to be able to change your heart and change your mind and change your whole body. And then Orthodox Christianity, by the way, the critique Orthodox Christianity has of this is these things don't go far enough. Like that transhumanism is just changing your body, but you also need to transform your soul. And you need to transform your whole self. And so,
the other okay, so he's an idiot, and that's not the Orthodox view at all. The soul is part of you, period. It's part of what makes you human. The transformation, it's not even a transformation effect necessarily of the soul. What it is part of theosis, becoming more Christ-like. Your soul is you. There's no separation. It's not that you can have a human being absent a soul, or you can have a soul absent a body. It's all one thing. It's part of the ontology that makes a person up as a man. And no, Orthodoxy does not move towards these crazy ass transhumanist ideas of mending or melding machines together with men so that you can go traipse, through Mars or whatever it is in your crazy ass dystopian future. Can you get a heart transplant? Yeah, sure. Of course you can get an organ transplant. That's not critical to your ontology. Your body and your soul, though, you're one. As a human, both of those components make you up as a human. There's no separation between the two. What are you transforming in your soul? Does your soul become something else? No. No, your soul does not become something else. So what does it transform into? What he's talking about is transforming a human into something that's not actually a human anymore. They're interchangeable, right? It's not the Orthodox view. Crazy asshole.
I thought that was such a weird take, such a strange take, that actually Orthodox Christians would support this because they believe in the idea of transforming yourself and your heart and your mind. So it's not actually transforming your physical heart and getting a bionic.
Well, first of all, you aren't doing that anyway. It's the participation in God's energies which does this, not you, right? You don't have the ability to transform your soul. You don't even have access to this. That's not a thing that you even have direct access to. It's through the participations, the energies of God, that you can even formulate these things. That's all what makes you, right? You're not transforming. Orthodoxy does not believe you should transform away from your very humanity. Right? That's not Orthodox.
Low battery. Oh shit. What phone about to die? What time is it? It's almost 5. Say just a little extra hour because I was hoping to get this flipping couch done this weekend. Man, look.
There's something quite surreal about seeing people on the internet say, she's in a room full of dummies. There's something quite surreal about people feeling like they would have watched an intellectual conversation when they do not watch intellectual conversations because they are not intellectuals. And there's something very real about knowing that. And thus, surreptitiously slide in the truth, facts, history, and information into spaces where it rarely exists. And the actual sacrifice that it takes to envelop yourself in ignorance in order to do so for the greater good. I appreciate all of those who understand what that is, how taxing and exhausting it is. And anyone who is not able to see that, who seems to think that their lack of intellect is somehow invalidating of my work on Surrounded. Those people need to do further exploration, examination, and analysis of what we're surrounded by. Because those people are a true representation of where we are. And I hope I gave you some tools and some tips on how to have the next conversation at your Thanksgiving dinner. Something quite surreal about seeing people on the internet say, she's in a room full of dummies.
I never actually finished watching her episode of Surrounded.
You know how we all have that one friend we go to with all our financial questions? Well, meet Experian, your BFF, as in Big Financial Friend. Experian is going to be your go-to app when it comes to taking control of your finances. Experian can help you save, lets you check your FICO score, and so much more. Just download the Experian app today for free. Trust me, you need this big financial friend.
Yeah, twins pie.
Hey, do you think?
My name's Matt Nuclear.
Hello,
I
Matt.
appreciate-
Matt Nuclear?
Matt Nuclear, yes.
Matt Nuclear, give me a better handshake on that. Let's
Thank
do
you.
it.
I
All
appreciate
right.
having this conversation with a beautiful black woman like yourself. This is nice, beautiful arena here. I just agree that reparations are necessary. I think the most important thing that's necessary right now for the black community would be the stopping of violence, especially black on black violence. I don't see how reparations is going to solve anything. You can give everyone here like a $50,000 check, especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently. A $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% or 20%. For example, we have the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that black people kill each other, according to the FBI.
Oh, young man.
Yet white people are the aggressors.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
Stats don't lie, though.
Statistics lie all the time. So let's start there, and particularly when the statistics are coming from the sources that gain from the statistics being shown a different way. So if you're going to start your argument on stats don't lie, you've already lost the argument. They lie all the time. One, comparing Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States and comparing the continued effort of black people to ground themselves in a nation that continues to make impediments for them to show and live and exist in their true citizenship is a false equivalency.
I don't believe that happens at all. What no one here is in.
Are you acting right now? Do you really
I'm
believe
telling
this?
the truth. There's no systemic racism that I've experienced here in America. What system is racist? I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism that we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories, using black-only dormitories because black people feel safer amongst each other. But they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them. That's just the truth. You have King Von rapping about killing other black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor when black men are more likely to kill me?
Oh my
Tell me.
God, this is scary. You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion. So let's check that now. Okay. So on a basic level, we have to understand that systemic racism is grounded in the realities that Black people have not been considered an equal human being in this country since its onset. So there's simply no way to make the argument that there isn't systemic racism, and we have seen in very clear ways the system operate in an organically racist way. Do not cut me off. When we talk about systemic racism, we can start with even the fact that redlining, which was implemented to discriminate Black communities. Are you shaking your head that redlining doesn't exist?
No, I'm saying I don't think it really existed at all. I mean, no, I don't think so at all.
So it does exist, and stating that it doesn't exist doesn't make it no longer exist. Redlining absolutely exists. It is not something that's being made up. It's an empirical fact, and there are realities that exist because of redlining. We know that school systems are related to the way that property taxes are affecting the school systems. If a school system is not getting the same property value as the property taxes allow it, then it's not going to have the same efficacy at allowing for students to be able to get what they deserve. When we talk about systemic racism, we have to acknowledge that these private prisons are literally built based on the test scores of school students in 3rd grade. So if you are literally building prisons with the onset of, okay, if these people are not reaching a certain reading level, then we know that they're going to go down a prison industrial pipeline where we can use their free labor. Then how is that not systemic? And if you want to
stop them from entering prisons,
how are you going to stop people from entering prisons if your goal is to get them into prison?
Sure, make them try to be more like Ben Carson than be like King Von. That's very, very simple.
So how does King Von happen? How does King Von happen?
King Von,
reparation. Actually, no, let me land the plane. We're talking about reparations, and what you're doing is actually just trying to get this conversation off the facts. And the fact is, reparations are just and necessary because on a basic level, Black people built this country, and the country continues to thrive off of the labor that Black people put into this country. And it would behoove you, young man, to really understand the way that your ancestors put blood, sweat, and tears into this nation that is still living off of those blood, sweat, and tears. And let me also add, there are reparations and then there is remunerations. Do you know the difference?
Yes, but can I finish one point that I wanted to say? Ben Carson's cousins were killed at a very young.
I'm so sorry, you've been voted out by the majority. Okay. Please return to your seat.
I hope some of y'all are acting. I really do. I really, we in LA, and I hope some people in here are acting.
No, I think these people are extremely honest, but at the same time, some people can't see both sides of the coin. I don't know. You just can't see both. So why don't you be like Dr. Ben Carson instead of like King Von? When it comes to violent Black music, my biggest question is, who allows that shit to get out there? Who allows it to even exist? If there wasn't a profit to be made from it, it wouldn't exist. Because now things are changing. But for the greater part of history, music labels and distribution companies and major printing companies, all this shit is owned by Jews and whites. So if they own the printing press and the distribution chains and the advertisement chains and the recording studios and the contracts and everything like that, and they just really, really hated Black people talking about killing each other, they wouldn't sign any artist who did that. But in contrary, it seems like, especially with hip hop and rap music, they only want to sign artists who speak hateful and derogatory of themselves. And then these smart person to always see like black people are the only ones to do that. No other entertainers talk about murder and killing their own people like black people do. It's a very weird thing. But I think that is a part of the construct in order to perpetuate those ideals and ways of life. It's very perpetual. If you turn on the radio and the only thing you hear is fucking songs rapping about goddamn quantum equations and particle physics, the only thing you'll be able to recite is quantum equations and particle physics. But if you every time you turn on the radio, they talking about shoot a nigga, kill a nigga, sell some nigga drugs, then that's the only thing you're gonna be aware of. Simple as that. So King Vons are by design. I still fall in the same trap because the music, I understand it, but it's funny to me. You know, I don't live that type of life. Not anymore, anyway. Woke up to that shit, but the music is still like funny to me. And so that's why I gotta have a good balance because I still like writing trashy rap songs. But I know what it is though. So yeah, the young guys like King Von. Yeah, but you're not questioning how a King Von can even exist. How is that even possible? Because people of influence and power want us to see ourselves that way. Period. They want us to see ourselves that way. And that is systemic racism. If any other group of people were actually seriously, deeply concerned about the Black experience and plight in this country, that would be one of the easiest things to do, is only sign positive entertainers who only talk about positive stuff and real hard knowledge and facts and not anything derogatory. But that won't happen. Because if you have a whole generation of kids listening to positive motivational music, then your prison system would definitely dry up. Because these kids are rapping about scholarships and how many different languages you can use in one rap song, and it would be a different type of entertainment, which leads to a different type of mindset. And they don't want that. They want niggas to act like niggas and stay in a nigga spot. Make some more nigga music and go out there and do some nigga shit. I'll put you in this movie if you act like a nigga. So there are definitely ways you can still point out these tropes that are ingrained in the system. Entertainment is definitely one of them. That's why he thinks that he's a very intelligent person by bringing up a musician or a musical artist in their type of lyrics. But you that's just scratching the surface. Okay, this guy makes very violent music. How are we able to listen to that? You want to change some shit, make that type of music as punishable as child pornography. If you talk about murdering and taking the life of another individual on a song, that should be like child pornography. You should face a very major punishment for trying to promote death and destruction amongst your own people. But no, nobody will ever do that because it's too profitable and it keeps motherfuckers acting a certain way. Period. So I can see her side, I can see his side, but you know, you got to go deeper if that's going to be your argument, broski.
Oh, what's that on your chain?
This is corn from Israel.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yes, you got it.
That's the choice that you are making for yourself.
Yes. The thing with the whole reparations thing, and I don't know, we're probably close to the same age, so maybe you can't call me.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
I'm 44.
Oh, really? Oh, you look young.
Thank you. That's what water and keeping stress out of your life will do.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Liberal positions are real stressful.
By the way, I wouldn't know. I'm not a liberal. Carry on.
Well, it's the liberal position because conservatives believe in hard work. We believe in going to work and working for what you got, not asking for handouts from people who never had slaves. Some of the people that you're asking for money from never had slaves. And let's talk about the fact there were also Black people that had slaves. So if you want to talk about that, how is that fair? If I'm a white person and my family fall on the side of the Union, why should I have to pay for slaves when this whole country was never all racist? Some of the founding fathers were abolitionists, and they hated slavery. And they actually put things in the Declaration of Independence and things too, because they believed that there'll be a future where there would be a Black president one day, or that there would be people in leadership that were Black. There was people in the North who helped with the Underground Railroad and fought with the Union. So why is that fair for people who never had slaves, who fought against slavery, to have to pay for people that had slaves?
One, from my understanding, you are more interested in preserving the fairness of those who didn't have slaves than the fairness of those who are the descendants of slaves. That is priority to you than finding a fair way to accommodate those who have been the descendant of slaves.
Well, our ancestors wasn't asking for handouts. They were asking for equal opportunity. And we have equal opportunity in this country. We had a Black president, just in case you didn't know. We had a Black president and we had a Black vice president.
No, you're wrong. Barack Obama was biracial. He was of mixed race. He was mulatto. There's a difference, bro. There's a fucking difference. I hate when they do the first Black president shit. This motherfucker wasn't Black, and he's not the first biracial president. He was the first of nothing. He just maybe the first brown, dark, or mid, not even dark brown skin. He was like mid brown skin. He's not Black. He's biracial. Kamala Harris, not Black, biracial. Any other time, a motherfucker can call that shit out. But when they don't, when it doesn't fit the narrative, they just say, "Oh, they're Black. They're Black." No. My parents are Black, and their parents are Black, and their parents are Black. I'm a Black person, African or whatever. If one of your parents is from India, and one of your parents is from Jamaica, then you're mixed race. You're Indian and Jamaican, and that's fucking fantastic. That's great. But you can't just say, I'm just Indian. No, you're not Indian. You're Indian and Jamaican. If you're fucking Russian and Chinese, you're not going to be like, I'm Russian. No, you're not Russian. You're Russian and you're Chinese. Your mom is from fucking mainland China. You're both. You're both. People got mad at Tiger Woods when he wouldn't say, I'm just Black. No, you're not. His mom is fucking Taiwanese or something, right? His mom is some sort of brown Asian. I don't know. And he's like, no, I'm not going to like just say I'm one thing because my dad is this and my mom is this. And that makes me both, which is great. More mixing. But if you're both, just say that. And they will not do that for Obama. They will not do that shit for Obama. And I do not understand why. I don't understand why. That's a hard fallacy that they just do not want to see past. We had a black president. No. Denzel Washington would have been a black president. You know what I'm saying? Cornel West would have been a black president. Umar Johnson would have been a black president. These are black men. They're not mulatto. They're not mixed. They're not biracial. They're just black dudes. That would have been a black president. We had a mixed guy for president. And that's fine too. Ain't nothing wrong with that shit. But you're not the first at nothing, nigga. You're not the first black president, and you're not the first biracial president of the United States. Get over it. Get over your fucking self, dude. And the people who keep saying that shit is just like, why do you say it that way? We had a black president. Don't forget that. Nah. No. You just remember he wasn't black, bro. He's not a black guy.
I mean, I think she was black. They said she was black. I don't know. So we had a black president, and you know who voted for that black man? White people, because you can't win a popular election in this country without white people. So Barack Obama is the product of white people. So let's get off this thing where, oh, America is so racist. What's making America so racist is people that continue to talk about racism and continue to focus on racism instead of focusing on unity and bringing our country forward. People that have this liberal mindset are infecting our communities, black people, and making us victims and not victors. I refuse to embrace a victim mentality because that's not what our grandparents and Harriet Tubman and those people fought for. They fought for
Do
equal
not bring up
opportunity.
Harriet Tubman's name in vain, baby. Please.
Let's say the
Harriet
Lord's
Tubman.
name in vain.
Harriet
The
Tubman.
Lord's name.
Harriet Tubman was literally saving her family and others from slavery.
Yeah.
If you want to look strong, go to the gym. But if you want to be strong, Terry workouts.
What is your advice for all men in 2025? Every man should immediately.
You know who helped her? White people.
You know who helped her?
They were on the Underground Railroad.
No. You know who helped her?
Come on in.
No, you know who helped her?
God and
people who benefit from white supremacy. One of the things
It's a lie. White supremacy is a lie.
No, sir,
It's
that's
a
simply
lie.
not
There's
true.
no-
If that were not the case, then we wouldn't see the continued effort of colonialism and white people placing themselves in positions of power
You
when
know
they
why
do
they're
not
in
have the
position of
power.
power? Because their
Let me hear this.
culture. Black culture is toxic. The black culture is toxic. We have produced a culture that is toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers
So
in
white
the black
culture-
home. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
None of this is gonna work if y'all are just gonna sit here and make up shit.
We have
It's
a
not
debate.
gonna work. No, it's a debate. You have to be in fact.
You're
You are
putting off
literally
emotional
not.
liberalism
I am
right
not
now.
putting off emotional liberalism. You're putting off unfounded lies
That's what
based
y'all do.
in
Y'all start saying
conservatism.
misinformation. Remember they
It
get the
is
misinformation thing all summer where everything
Look at this
conservative
man.
did. They said
You're carrying a chain around your neck of an apartheid nation that actively wants to harm black people and
What about the
not Jewish
apartheid?
people.
What
But
about-
let me bring it
what
back.
about when
Let
black
me bring
people
it
were
back.
selling black people
Let me
in
bring it.
Africa
That was not happening
and put
in
them
the
in
context that
cages,
you're saying.
and they were selling
Let's
their own
bring it
people.
back.
Black people still sell
Okay.
their own people today too.
I don't know if I'm gonna last.
We're selling our own people.
I don't know if I'm gonna
You probably
last.
won't last with me.
I won't because your ignorance is so
So y'all that's
overwhelming.
liberals. Y'all start name calling when y'all
No,
getting
it's
defeated
not
in an
name
argument.
calling. You won't have an argument because you keep cutting me off.
Well, that's fine. They don't let me do
You
that.
won't
I
even.
made my
You won't.
point.
You didn't make your
I made my
point.
point.
You haven't
And
made
I'm
your
okay
point.
with being
And let me
voted
just
out.
tell you about your point. You started.
It took me a few minutes, but this motherfucker gay. What he did. I made my point. You're a fucking faggot, and you're not making a very decent point. I can't really side with both of them because neither side is making really good arguments. Like, you're just missing the easy parts of the arguments. You're just missing the easy part of the arguments. Everybody, so the thing is supposed to be on reparations, but then when the conservatives get up there, they bounce around. Let's talk about this and then that, and then don't forget there was black people selling each other in Africa. Bro, is that that's on the African continent. We talking about reparations here in the United States. You moving the fucking post too fucking far and too much. You're going through different parts of fucking history, bro. We trying to talk about reparations now, today. I'm all for reparations. Do I think niggas need to stop whining and complaining? Absolutely. You need to build your own shit and work for yourself, just like everybody else do. Just like the Chinatowns and the Jews and the little Italies and all that shit. You know, build and do for self. But don't let these motherfuckers forget, hey man, y'all promised us some shit way back in the day. Y'all ain't never hold your fucking word. And until y'all hold your word, I'ma just not ever trust you really. Because you told my great grandparents that, hey, you know, we fucked up, enslaving y'all for generations. We're gonna give y'all a little bit of land so y'all can get a good start in the foundation off. And y'all ain't never gave us that shit. So I ain't gonna keep complaining about it, honestly. I'm gonna keep working to try to build for myself. But if a petition goes around and y'all want me to sign for damn right, give me the monies. I don't even want the money. I want the fucking land, honestly. Wait the acreage yet. Wait the acreage yet. I need the land, bro. I'm all for reparations. I'm for both sides. I want motherfuckers to stop complaining, and I want reparations. You know the easiest way for us to stop complaining? If you give us reparations. He talking about, oh, if everybody got whatever, $50,000. Nigga, that ain't reparation money. That's chump change, bro. With inflation, they owe each man, woman, and child goddamn $800,000 a piece. They gotta go in their pockets for some trillion. $800,000, that's a nice little nest egg to set up. Is it 5 yet? All right, it's a little bit after 5. I think I'll go ahead and break right here. All right, this is a tough discussion, especially just amongst black people. Some black people really don't feel like it'll do anything. It's psychological for me, man. It's definitely financial, but psychological. Say sorry, motherfuckers. Say sorry. Now mean that shit. You know how you can mean it? Go in your pockets and give me something. Show me how much you mean that shit. Apologize. That's what reparations is, an apology. And until they apologize, I'm always gonna feel kind of not 100% on board with a lot of shit. Cause y'all don't apologize to everybody else, even the fucking Jews, and that shit ain't even happening here. And today, y'all still just get Jews money every year. Every year, y'all get Jews money. Billions of dollars every year. For what? But y'all can't say sorry to us, though. I don't like it. And that's something else, too. Like, the guy got up there, he has on his Jewish fucking cross or some shit, a black dude. Where you gonna get reparation money from? We'll stop sending the Jews some money for a couple of years, and that'll be plenty of money for us. They get 3-point-something billion a year. What if you just wrote checks to black folks for the next 10 years? Everybody get in line, oldest at the front, so you can spend that shit now. Youngest at the back. In the next 10 years, we're gonna stop sending money to Israel, and we'll spend that money on the African American population of the United States in the form of reparations. Easy. Problem solved. Damn, bro, am I a financial genius or what? Should I be some kind of dignitary, a diplomat, or envoy, or something? I just got all the answers. You know what I'm saying? I got all the answers. Harkham's razor. All right. Wood grain. Working on that wood grain. Going to drive me insane on the wood grain. Going to drive me insane. I'm working on that wood grain, on the wood grain. Working on the wood grain, going to drive me insane. I'm working on the wood grain, working on the wood grain. Try to drive me insane. And I'm working on the wood grain. All right. I gotta do my hair now. Man. I'm kicking the camera. Yo, Wendy, I sure appreciate you. Who else stop through? Big Rob. I sure appreciate you guys. Got the varnish effect. That little piece is gonna be so nice when it's done. That couch, I really hate that the couch is gonna steal the show on this piece, but it is what it is. Anyway, sure appreciate your company. Hope you have a good evening. I'll get with you next time. We out of here.